3 days before our wedding anniversary, I found a beautifully wrapped gift bag in my husband Marcus's suit pocket. It was a new Cartier bangle, and the letters GC were so clear on it. There was no doubt it was Marcus's anniversary gift for me. I quietly put it back, deciding not to spoil the surprise if he was planning one. But on our anniversary, what I received was a Cartier chain bracelet. It was about 20,000 less than the one I'd seen in his pocket that day. It was a plain, unremarkable piece, the kind that, due to its price point, wouldn't even allow for engraving. Who received that bangle? Once a seed of doubt is planted, it's not easily removed. Marcus, I already have this Cartier chain bracelet, don't I? Didn't you get me anything else? I asked, testing the waters. Oh? I might have been too busy with work and forgotten, he said. I'll make it up to you with another gift. I clutched the chain bracelet, lost in thought. Because, the truth was, I had never owned this particular one. I had an unexpected errand and went to the company. To my surprise, the bangle I'd seen in Marcus's pocket was being worn by an intern. Sarah, who's the girl in the mermaid-style dress? I called my former assistant, Sarah, and pointed to the intern. Oh, Grace, Sarah said. You mean Chloe? She's a new intern this year, really sharp, and gets along well with everyone. Sarah leaned in and whispered, Grace, rumor has it her boyfriend is super well connected. Even her anniversary gift, a new Cartier bangle, cost close to 40,000, that's 2 months of my hard-earned salary. My expression hardened. After exchanging a few pleasantries with Sarah, I sent her back to her cubicle. The intern wore a black mermaid-style dress and a red blouse, which accentuated her curvaceous figure. She looked young and energetic, yet alluring. No wonder everyone around her treated her so well. But seeing the bangle on her wrist, I couldn't help but overthink. Could it really be such a coincidence? Hey, new intern, come here for a moment. Chloe heard my voice and walked towards me. Pretty sister, were you calling me? Her voice was sweet. I usually have a soft spot for gentle and obedient girls, but looking at this person in front of me, I couldn't bring myself to like her. I'm the director of the finance department here, I said. Of course, you can also call me Grace. Chloe frowned slightly at my words. Understood, Grace. Is there something you need me for? At the company, other than Sarah, no one knew that Marcus and I were married. I casually handed her a document. The moment she reached to take it, I looked closely. In the exact same spot, there really were letters engraved. Could it truly be such a coincidence? The same GC? Chloe, nice bangle, I said, raising an eyebrow and smiling at her, a flicker of an unreadable emotion in my eyes. Of course. My boyfriend loves me very much. After the girl left, I collapsed into my chair. Marcus. 4 years of a long-term college relationship, 3 years of marriage. Are we really unable to resist the 7-year itch? At that moment, my phone rang, interrupting my thoughts. Hello, honey. I won't be able to have dinner with you tonight. I have a business dinner I can't get out of. Be a good girl and make sure you eat well, Marcus said. Marcus sounded as gentle as ever, without a hint of deception. But I desperately wanted to expose all of this. After leaving the company, I rented a car and staked out the parking lot. As and Chloe embraced, kissed, and got intimate in the car, my heart shattered into a million pieces. Didn't he know it was my birthday today? I watched them kiss right in front of me, then followed their car all the way to the Hyatt. Chloe hooked her arm through Marcus's, and they were led directly into the elevator by a bellhop. I took 2 photos from behind, then dejectedly went home. At 1 in the morning, Marcus came home. No matter how late, Marcus always came home, but it was all part of his facade of a good husband. Baby, why aren't you resting? Why are you drinking? The moment he entered, he noticed me on the sofa, downing drinks. Marcus walked over and pressed down on me. Baby, are you upset I didn't come home earlier to be with you? A wicked smile played on Marcus's lips as he lowered his head, preparing to kiss me. Normally, when he wanted to be intimate, I was always cooperative. After all, we'd been together for 7 years and never argued, sharing a deep affection and tenderness. I even used to think we'd never have a cold spell in our relationship. But the moment I thought of his mouth having just kissed Chloe, I felt a wave of nausea. Ugh, I pushed Marcus away and hurried into the bathroom. What's wrong, Grace? Did you drink too much on an empty stomach? Marcus knelt on the floor, gently patting my back. Don't do this again next time. Make sure you eat on time, or I'll worry. Seeing his hypocritical act, a chill ran through me. Stop your fake act. I don't need your concern. I simply couldn't pretend to be pleasant with him. Why are you so angry today? I promise once this busy period is over, I'll take you on a trip. I ignored Marcus's words, slapped his hand away, and walked straight into the bedroom. The entire room was filled with the scent of perfume that Marcus had picked up. I hadn't noticed it before. Seeing me so drunk, Marcus actually went to the kitchen and started making honey water. Due to work, I occasionally had business dinners and events where I'd drink. Whenever he prepared hangover tea or honey water for me, I'd gratefully wrap my arms around his neck and kiss him for a long time. But today, all I could feel was the hypocrisy of the man before me. In a daze, I noticed a white residue on his black suit jacket. It had a distinct, unsettling odor. How could I not know what that was? Marcus, you're so sloppy. What kind of dirt did you get on your suit? I yelled, pointing the residue. Seeing his own clothes, Marcus stiffened. Grace, don't be angry. It was the server tonight, they accidentally brushed against my suit while serving food. I'll send it to the dry cleaners tomorrow. I promise it won't be any trouble for you. Watching his panicked retreat, my mood sank to rock bottom. Marcus, why don't you just live somewhere else? Do you even know what day it is today? My sudden question froze Marcus in his tracks. Huh? Grace, I'm sorry, I forgot it was your father's death anniversary. Marcus sat on the edge of the bed with a goofy smile. Grace, don't be mad. Your husband will definitely spend some quality time with you today. I'll order a new custom-made bangle for you. His hand brushed my neck. In the past, I would have eagerly embraced him at this moment, but now I felt an overwhelming repulsion towards his touch. Marcus, I'm too tired. I need to rest alone. Go to the guest bedroom. I sent him away, assuming that since it was only a few hours until dawn and so late, he would quickly fall asleep. But to my surprise, hushed voices soon drifted from the adjacent bedroom. When we changed furniture a few days ago, I installed cameras in the house. I hadn't had a chance to tell him yet. I pulled up the footage from the guest bedroom, put on my headphones, and watched Marcus's every move next door. Marcus, why do you have to go back to that old, tired wife? Look at her, she weighs 120 pounds. How is that as slender as me? How can you even bring yourself to kiss her? The provocative voice coming from the other end was indeed Chloe, the new intern. Chloe, Grace is almost 30. No matter how well she takes care of herself, she can't compare to your vibrant 20-year-old self. Damn. He should look at himself, isn't he almost 30 and practically decrepit too? It's so annoying. The moment I got back, I saw her passed out drunk, not doing any work, just causing trouble for me. Over the phone, Marcus was endlessly complaining about the grievances he felt he had endured over the years. Then, come find me after that woman falls asleep. The camera was imported, with incredibly good resolution. I zoomed in on the screen and could even clearly see Chloe in the video, dressed in a sheer black negligee, striking provocative poses for Marcus. Good girl, wait for me. I'll sneak out once she's asleep. I pretended to be deeply asleep. Marcus quietly came to my bedside, called out twice, and seeing no reaction from me, left the room. Immediately after, I heard the sound of the front door closing. I got up and looked at the empty room, and the toast left on the dining table. A sticky note next to it read, "Honey, I'm off to work. Remember to heat up breakfast if it gets cold." If I hadn't stayed up tonight, how would I have discovered his usual trick? No wonder no matter how early I woke up, I never saw Marcus. I sat on the sofa, quietly thinking all night long. When I met Marcus in college, I knew his family wasn't well off, but always gave me a strong sense of security, which felt comforting to me, having lost my parents' care so early on. After my parents divorced, I lived with my father. My classmates only knew I had a father who owned a clothing company, but they didn't know my mother was a titan in the financial world. At that time, Marcus was just an ordinary design school student, the kind you could find a dime a dozen in my father's company. He didn't realize I was more than just a girl from a well-to-do family. I married Marcus despite my mother's objections. With my father's continuous support, Marcus eventually became the director of the design department at the company. 2 years prior, my father was in an accident and died unexpectedly. I wasn't a powerhouse businesswoman full of ambition, so I entrusted my father's company to Marcus to manage. I had made inquiries about Chloe. That girl was personally recruited by Marcus from her school. Based on her academic performance, NCE, she wouldn't have met the company's standards at all, yet she still outranked 2 other interns and entered the design department. I knew Marcus must have been involved in some under-the-table dealings. It was around the time this new batch of interns was hired that Marcus started coming home late and leaving early, and his business dinners and events tripled. Even his usual casual style became more attentive. He started paying more attention to his attire and appearance. Once, I even joked with him, "Marcus, are you rushing off to a blind date? Your hair is more meticulously styled than it was for our wedding." That day, he just smiled at himself in the mirror, saying nothing, completely oblivious to the look I was giving him. If I hadn't found that bangle while tidying his clothes, I still wouldn't have known about his cheating on his wife and breaking his marriage vows. For the past 6 months or so, his tenderness and thoughtfulness as a husband had all been a pretense. Even our intimacy as a couple was just Marcus fulfilling a task for me, not out of love. I didn't close my eyes until dawn. After washing up, I went to the company early. What shocked me was that Chloe, this mirror in turn, had been exceptionally promoted to Marcus's assistant. "Congratulations, Chloe, on securing the daily company project during your internship. Chloe, I heard your boyfriend helped you land this project. You should introduce him to me sometime." The surrounding staff began to fawn over Chloe. My friend Sarah walked over to me. "Grace, I have a feeling something's off between director and Chloe. Maybe you should keep a closer eye on them?" I gestured for Sarah to keep an eye out for me as well. I wanted to see just how far Marcus, this man who climbed the ladder using my family, would go. "Oh, don't worry, everyone, this Friday after work, all colleagues who don't have to be on duty can come to my place." Chloe looked triumphant, seemingly very pleased with the praise she was receiving. She was hosting a party on Friday night, but would I be invited? Just as I stepped into Marcus's office, I heard his directive. "Grace, you've come at a good time. Something's come up at the subsidiary, and I can't get away. It's safer to leave this kind of thing to our own people. Could you go on a business trip this Saturday and Sunday?" Marcus asked tentatively, his eyes full of expectation. "Willow is quite far from here. If I didn't want to delay work on Saturday, I'd have to leave by Friday afternoon at the latest." "All right, I'll pack up and leave on Friday then." After I agreed, I noticed the barely concealed joy in Marcus's eyes. "Are you that happy I'm going on a business trip? Are you planning to go on a date with some other woman behind my back?" My sudden question made Marcus's expression stiffen for a moment. "Oh? Of course not. I'm just happy because you've solved my urgent problem, Grace." He walked from his seat and embraced me. "What more could a man ask for than a wife like you? Grace, it's my blessing to have married you in this lifetime." As he stepped forward to embrace me, a surge of unpleasant emotion immediately rose within me, like a foul stench, filling me with an indescribable disgust. Marcus was planning to send me away for the weekend purely so he could be with Chloe. I agreed to turn his plan against him. Friday quickly arrived. As soon as it was 1 in the afternoon, Marcus started rushing me to board my flight. "Honey, be careful on your trip, and stay safe." I pretended to walk towards the boarding gate, but once Marcus's figure was out of sight, I turned back and went to my mother's house. At that very moment, Chloe had already arrived at Marcus's and my mansion. She toured the house endlessly, finally stopping in my walk-in closet. So many designer handbags, so much high-end makeup. "Grace, that old woman, is such a spendthrift. Marcus, when you divorce her, don't let her take any of these things. You bought them with *yo. You are *money. Chloe vented her dissatisfaction and envy everywhere. Marcus was clearly pleased, obviously relishing this young girl's flattery. "Chloe, don't worry. Everything I'll give to you, every bit of it." Upon hearing Marcus's reply, Chloe, looking delighted, wrapped her arms around his waist. "Marcus, why don't we two get intimate on your and Grace's bed?" Chloe took off her jacket, revealing the bodycon dress underneath. Her figure was graceful and curvaceous. Marcus quickly lost control and pulled her onto my bed. What a despicable pair. "I swear I'll pack up this bed and send it straight to Chloe's house." Intimate sounds drifted from my phone. My face darkened as I recorded the entire scene. After getting intimate, Marcus embraced Chloe and began plotting to take over my company and divorce me. Don't let Grace being a director of the finance department fool you. She hasn't held real power for years. Sarah handles everything. As long as we get rid of her, taking over the company will be within reach. Marcus was brimming with confidence. With a beautiful woman in his arms, he was probably envisioning power and wealth not far off either. What he didn't know was that Sarah had already compiled all the evidence of Grace cooking the books and embezzling assets over the years. Such a huge company, Marcus, you're the only one slaving away for it. It should rightfully be yours. What a joke. Did really think Marcus would marry her if he divorced me? Marcus was a realist. He would only associate with people who had value to him. Everyone, including colleagues from the design department, gathered at my house for a party. Chloe meticulously arranged things for everyone, as if she were the hostess. "Hello everyone, today I'd like to introduce you all to my boyfriend, Marcus. After realizing their director was this intern's boyfriend, everyone was stunned. Some even wondered if Chloe was my deceased father's daughter, since I took my mother's surname, making it impossible to deduce my father's children from the surname alone. Chloe smiled, saying nothing, clearly acquiescing to all of it. Sarah, who was present, was dumbfounded and kept bombarding me with messages. I instructed her to remain calm, keep an eye on the scumbag and conniving woman in cahoots' next moves, and gather evidence. I calmly handled all of this, borrowing an accountant and a lawyer from my mother's company. I advised you to divorce Marcus a long time ago. I've worked with him on projects, and honestly, I never had a good impression of that man. Grace, you're going to take over my company. How can I trust you with it if you're so indecisive? My mother patiently admonished me. Yes, I thought, Marcus has been so heartless and unjust to this extent, I really don't need to save him any face. Your mother will find you an excellent man. An ungrateful wretch like him doesn't deserve to be with you. In truth, I still held a tiny sliver of hope for Marcus. I truly couldn't believe that 7 years of a long-term college relationship couldn't withstand the fleeting excitement of a young body. But what happened next completely shattered that thought. What 7-year long-term college relationship? It was just a 7-year-long scam. The subsidiary hadn't actually had any problems. I pretended to make a detour and then took a taxi back home. Chloe, who should have been gone yesterday, was still in my bed today. Honey, why are you back today? Seeing shocked and bewildered face, my desire to toy with their emotions reached its peak. Nothing much happened in Willow, so I came back early. After all, I missed you so much, my dear husband. I pushed him, ready to pull him into the bedroom, but he urged me to eat something in the kitchen first, shouting loudly, clearly afraid that the woman inside wouldn't hear me. No, I think I'll just rest first. I flung open the door. On the bed, Chloe sat wearing one of my most provocative nightgowns. Grace, YAR. You here? Chloe looked drowsy, caught red-handed in my bed, yet she still feigned innocence. Shouldn't you be explaining to me why you're in my house? I watched Chloe with amusement. To my surprise, the woman slowly got up from my bed. Grace, please don't misunderstand. I simply drank too much yesterday, and director was worried about me, so he let me stay the night. Nothing at all happened between us. Chloe quickly put her clothes back on. Marcus was sweating profusely. When we got married, we signed an agreement. If I discovered Marcus cheating on his wife and breaking his marriage vows, he would have no choice but leaving with nothing. Honey, please don't misunderstand. I slept in the guest bedroom last night. I saw that Chloe had too much to drink, and it was her colleagues who carried her into your room. Chloe, aren't you supposed to be on duty at the company? Why aren't you leaving already? Chloe grabbed her bag and fled in a panic. I stared intensely at Marcus, demanding he explain everything that had happened today. Honey, don't overthink it. Colleagues were drinking together, Chloe got drunk, and as an intern, nobody knew where she lived, so she just slept in your room for one night. Listening to his clumsy explanation, I wearily rubbed my eyes. You go to work too. Don't disturb my rest. Marcus always thought I was naive and brainless, and he actually believed I had bought his explanation. After Marcus had left, I found a used condom and seminal residue on the bed. Under the pillow, there was a pair of black fishnet stockings. Marcus had always had this particular pleasure. Ever since we got together, he liked to prepare black fishnet stockings for me when we were intimate. Seeing this scene before me, my marriage with Marcus had completely reached its end. Human nature is inherently ugly. Chloe was with Marcus for money, so she was destined to leave him for a higher price. I decided to return to work and directly challenge Marcus. At the same time, I had Chloe assigned to me from Marcus. They say your workability is astounding right out of college. From now on, you'll be my assistant. After all, the finance department holds a significant share. I lifted my hand and gave Chloe the French-imported skincare products next to me. Her eyes filled with joy. I had noticed her standard of living. Apart from a few occasional luxury items under 50,000, the rest were just outdated designer clothes. After all, Marcus wasn't yet in full power, and the finance department was still my domain. His liquid assets were limited, so he couldn't satisfy too many of Chloe's demands. Thank you, Grace. Watching her cheap smile, it was clear, whoever treated her well could become her sugar daddy. Why thank me? You're so beautiful, you deserve better. During the few days she assisted me, I took her to high-end parties and yacht parties. I exposed Chloe to all sorts of grand events she'd never had access to before, slowly nurturing her ambition. In the past few days, I'd seen her arguing in Marcus's office more than once. Marcus, I just want that new Chanel set. I've been with you for a year, don't I deserve to wear designer brands? My friends casually send me these kinds of things. You're so stingy. Marcus was good to her, but he didn't give her substantial transfers or gifts. Apart from that expensive bangle, none of the other gifts were worth over 10,000. Chloe now spent her days with me, slacking off and socializing with my male friends, while her nights were busy serving Marcus and extorting more from him. I knew that if this continued, Marcus would eventually get tired of her. Sure enough, after just 2 weeks, Chloe walked into the office with tear-swollen eyes. Grace, do you think all men change? My boyfriend isn't even willing to buy me a gift he can afford? Chloe complained to me endlessly. On the day of the party, Marcus had told everyone not to mention his relationship with Chloe. The compa. New York culture was generally good, so few people spoke about their affair. I think if he doesn't buy it for you, he definitely doesn't love you enough. Look at my husband, he recently bought me an Hermes alligator skin bag, it cost over 600,000. I took out the new gift my mother had given me, deliberately showing it off in front of her. Chloe was probably green with envy. As expected, Marcus told me he had to work overtime again today. Only this time, he came home early. For several consecutive days, I slept in the guest bedroom downstairs, using fatigue and laziness as an excuse not to go upstairs. The moment he got home, a call came in. You should answer it. What if it's something urgent? Marcus quickly rushed to the bathroom. I vaguely heard Chloe telling Marcus to come to her, otherwise, she would expose his cheating, ensuring Marcus wouldn't get a single penny. Marcus, you, a director, can't even afford a $30,000 piece of jewelry. How dare you string me along? What, you have money to buy your wife designer handbags, but when it comes to me, you treat me like a beggar. Chloe's greed had grown beyond control. Marcus reassured her repeatedly, promising to divorce me soon. Only then did Chloe relent. I quietly took out the divorce papers I had prepared long ago, waiting for Marcus to return. To my surprise, he didn't even look at me, and just made an excuse to leave the house. I dialed Mr. Robert's number. Mr. Robert, please revise the agreement one more time. Deliver it to my company tomorrow. I had originally planned to save Marcus some face, leaving him 20% of the assets. But he had personally thrown that 20% away. The next morning, while everyone was having their morning meeting, I called everyone together to witness a spectacle. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm going to give one of our colleagues a very special gift. It's about to be delivered right to our doorstep. I often gave out employee benefits, so everyone thought S. Omion had achieved outstanding performance and was about to receive another reward from me. They all eagerly discussed who the lucky recipient might be. Even was full of expectation. The past few days, being with me had proven to be no less beneficial than being with Marcus. Today's lucky recipient is Chloe. Everyone started congratulating her, and even Chloe herself eagerly asked me what the gift was. Just then, the delivery arrived. A supersized package was brought upstairs. Everyone was filled with curiosity, but Chloe alone had lost her earlier joy. She probably already guessed what was underneath the layers of packaging. Why is it a mattress? And a used one? Did the moving company make a mistake? The gossiping onlookers were still examining the mattress, which had been unwrapped and placed on the floor, but Chloe's face had turned pale, and she slumped in her seat. These second-hand platforms are so unreliable nowadays. There's still residue on this bed. How disgusting. The crowd erupted in chatter, telling me to contact the logistics company as soon as possible to return it. But I shook my head with a smile. This is a gift for Chloe. That day, Chloe got drunk, and she and her boyfriend accidentally got intimate in my bed at my house. Everyone exchanged bewildered glances and started blaming Chloe. Oh, Chloe, no matter how desperate you two were, you shouldn't have, in the director's house. Before I could say anything more, Chloe burst into tears. Director, I always thought of you as an elder sister. How could you humiliate me like this? Chloe said, pointing at me angrily. I humiliated you? What were you thinking when you were intimate with my husband in my bed? At those words, the entire company erupted into an uproar. Isn't Chloe's boyfriend director? How could she be involved with director's husband? Look at Chloe, head to toe in designer brands, but they're not even current trendy styles. Who knows which trust fund kid just tossed them her way? Seeing her actions exposed, Chloe simply stopped hiding. Yes, I was involved with your husband. But we're genuinely in love. Look at yourself, nearly 30. What do you have to keep such an outstanding man? Hearing immoral and shameless words, everyone began to condemn her. Leading the charge was my friend. Chloe, how shameless can you be? shamelessly flaunting her role as the mistress in this day and age. I'm telling you, all the money you've spent is director and her husband's joint property, and director has every right to reclaim it. Sarah swore angrily, and other colleagues, unable to tolerate Chloe's behavior, pointed fingers at her. That's enough, all of you. You talk as if you're all so pure. At 20, I'm already enjoying things you'll never experience in your lives. We all play by our own rules. What right do you have to criticize me? Chloe's years of education truly seemed to have gone to waste. What couldn't a 20-year-old girl do? Yet she had the audacity to be so thick-skinned as to destroy another's family. Grace, if you're smart, you'll proactively withdraw from your marriage with Marcus. Don't wait for Marcus to kick you out with nothing. Upon hearing that her affair partner was Marcus, everyone began to gossip. I had no idea director was already married, and his wife is director. I interrupted at the opportune moment. After today, that will no longer be the case. Chloe, however, looked triumphant at my words. You're finally letting Marcus go. If you'd just let us be together like this, we wouldn't have to suffer such embarrassment. Chloe truly didn't know what shame was. Everyone continued to point fingers at her, but Chloe remained unmoved. Why are you all making so much noise? Be careful, because the next second I might be the director's wife and fire all of you. You're just jealous of my youth and superior looks, and that I've climbed the corporate ladder by landing the director. Do you have to be yes? Oh, rude? Chloe scolded the colleagues in front of her, already stepping into the role of the director's wife. You're just a shameless other woman. Do you really think you'll become the director's wife? If you actually succeed in taking his place, then we'll all collectively resign. Sarah couldn't stand Chloe's audacity and continuously cursed at her. The people around them started to heckle, and Chloe gradually lost ground. You're all ganging up on me. When I marry director, the first ones I'll deal with are all you malicious gossips. The commotion we were making was too loud, drawing Marcus, who was upstairs, to come and see. What's all this commotion about, everyone? Get to work this early in the morning. Seeing approach, Chloe acted as if she'd found a savior. Marcus, quickly, come defend me. These people are saying we're a scumbag and conniving woman in cahoots, saying you're cheating on his wife and breaking his marriage vows with a young college intern. Chloe's mouth could truly twist facts. What are you all talking about? Chloe and I have a normal relationship, it's not as messy as you're making it sound. Everyone's gaze turned back to me. Marcus, what about me? What's my relationship with you? Upon hearing my voice, he froze in place as if struck by lightning. Huh? Honey, what are you doing here? He hurriedly stepped forward to grab my hand, trying to explain everything. I quickly pushed him back. Marcus, stop disgusting me. I packed up the bed you and Chloe got intimate on and sent it to you too. Sign the divorce papers today, and we'll go our separate ways. Just then, Mr. Robert walked in with the documents. My revised divorce papers were handed to Marcus. After flipping through them, he said, I'm not signing. There's no way I'm leaving with nothing. This company is something I've worked and struggled for. Why should I leave with nothing? Before anyone could react, Chloe rushed over and snatched the divorce papers. Marcus, you've been slaving away for the company all these years. There's no way you're leaving with nothing. If anyone's leaving with nothing, it should be her. Those two were truly insatiably greedy. They'd already received tens of times more from the company than they deserved in wages. With me, Marcus won't get anything, he'll be leaving with nothing, and that's all thanks to you, Chloe. While everyone was still there, I had Sarah display the data from my USB drive on the company's large screen. The video showed the two of them intimately entangled, getting intimate. Suggestive, seductive sounds filled the air, leaving little to the imagination. In the video, Chloe's chest was nearly spilling out, and her black fishnet stockings were torn open on her legs. Everyone present blushed crimson. Wow. I can't believe Chloe is so uninhibited. Chloe and Marcus looked like they wanted the ground to swallow them whole. Grace, I'm going to sue you for violating my rights. How dare you secretly record me? Chloe stamped her foot in a fit of rage, grabbed a water glass, and hurled it at the screen. Grace, are you truly going to leave me with no dignity at all? Marcus was furious, stepping forward and gripping my arm tightly. Marcus, you'd better save your energy to talk to my lawyer. I shook Marcus off and waved for the bodyguards my mother had lent me. Ladies and gentlemen, our company is about to be acquired by Sterling and become its subsidiary. After I announced the news, everyone started buzzing with discussion. Sterling? Is that the renowned Sterling from the finance world? It must be. I saw Mr. Robert, and he's Sterling exclusive attorney. I spoke up to answer everyone. To be honest, after my parents divorced, I stayed with my father. My mother prefers her freedom, she's a powerhouse businesswoman who runs Sterling herself. The discussions in the company almost blew the roof off. Oh my god, isn't this like a real-life CEO's wife having her true identity exp? Ost? What CEO's wife having her true identity exposed? She was always an heiress from a wealthy family. How could Marcus have gotten to where he is today without her? Everyone stared at Marcus with contempt. If things hadn't gone wrong, this immense fortune would have fallen into Marcus's lap. Ignoring and Chloe, who were frozen in place, I ordered my subordinates to call the police. Grace, this is our private matter, it doesn't need to involve the police. Believe me, I'll handle it and make things right to return to our family. We've been in love for 7 years, how could those insignificant nobodies out there compare? I shot a provocative glance at Chloe. Hearing herself compared to insignificant nobodies, Chloe's eyes blazed with fury, and she glared menacingly at Marcus. Marcus, you're mistaken. The police are here to investigate your embezzling company funds and misappropriating company assets during your tenure. At this, Marcus gasped sharply, his tightly clenched knuckles turning white. Grace, I was wrong, I was manipulated by Chloe. She threatened me into all this. How about we just fire her? Then we can live a peaceful life. I hadn't expected Marcus, for the sake of money and status, to be willing to abandon Chloe, even throwing aside his dignity to kneel and beg me. That's enough, Marcus. I'm pregnant right now, and if you dare abandon me, I'll accuse you of rape. Marcus ignored Chloe's words and forcefully pushed her away. The rest of us watched contentedly as the two of them started fighting like cats and dogs. When the police arrived, Marcus had no choice but to cooperate with their investigation. Several assistants from the finance department quickly provided information about Marcus accepting bribes, embezzling company funds, and the cooking the books he had done over the years. Soon, he was taken back to the police station for questioning. Chloe had lost her support. Everyone knew that anyone in Marcus's position, once reported for embezzling company funds and cooking the books, would practically have their life ruined. Naturally, I wouldn't let Chloe off the hook. After contacting my lawyer, I began legal proceedings to reclaim everything Marcus had given Chloe during their affair. Marcus had been dragging his feet on signing the divorce papers. That way, I could recover all the money, assets, and valuables he had gifted Chloe. The day I sent people to move things out of Chloe's house, she stood at the doorway, cursing at me relentlessly. I scanned the surroundings. This was still an upscale neighborhood, with rent easily exceeding $20,000 a month. I presumed Marcus was paying for it. After confirming with the landlord that the lease was up in a month, I didn't concern myself with the house. Chloe had been a troublemaker in school, just drifting through her days, with no real work ethic to speak of, apart from her looks. But now, her belly was slightly swollen, her face puffy, she truly was pregnant. Chloe, you brought this all upon yourself. Of all people to seduce, you just had to go seducing a married man. I admit Marcus also had a questionable character. If two people were together, they surely both had issues. With cooking the books and embezzling company funds, and my mother's connections, he was quickly sentenced. During his time at the company, Marcus had embezzled over $20 million in company funds. The amount was enormous. When his parents learned of it, they immediately disowned their son, refusing to give him a single cent of help. Marcus couldn't possibly repay this huge sum, and a 10-year prison sentence awaited him. My lawyer submitted the divorce petition, citing adultery and presenting the video as evidence. The court ruled our marriage dissolved. After became the discarded pawn in this whole affair, she contacted my male best friend, asking him to be her sugar daddy. But my friend thoroughly humiliated her and then blocked her. Now, which famous trust fund kid in our circles doesn't know her reputation? The next time I saw Chloe, she was being beaten by 2 women on the street. You shameless hussy, how dare you try to seduce my husband? Let's not waste words with her. Let's beat this tramp thoroughly and teach her a lesson. I recognized Chloe, rolling on the ground, her clothes disheveled from the beating. It seemed she still couldn't change her vile habit of seducing other women's husbands. Take all the jewelry off Chloe, that's all my husband's money. Chloe no longer had the glamorous and polished look she did when I first met her. Her hair was messy and pulled out in clumps, her body was bruised all over, and even the face she believed to be superior was now scratched by the 2 women's fingernails. Chloe truly couldn't change her ways, this was certainly a lesson for her. I noticed her stomach was flat, so she likely hadn't kept the child as a burden. I took over the company my parents left me and dedicated myself to handling its affairs. To think I was once prepared to hand over all company control to Marcus, what an incredible joke that was. Everyone must take responsibility for their actions. Since cheated, he must pay the price. No man is worth a woman devoting her whole heart to. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. Feel free to share your opinions, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.